All right, so I snuck in here next to Paige because I had to be a part of this segment. She's going to showcase, a great way and a stylish way to put your books, your mementos all on display. This is a DIY honeycomb bookcase. This is not just a bookcase. This has got some math mixed in with some science, with just some cool feel and vibe.
Coolness.
What's a honeycomb though? When you say honeycomb, meaning?
Well, honeycomb is just kind of the style. You see the little honeycomb, you almost kind of picture Pooh Bear with this honeycomb.
Oh yeah.
And but this was if Pooh Bear got sophisticated and had a den or a lounge area, this is what he would have. But it is a little bit of math, but we've taken the math away from you guys trying to figure it out at home because we have a pattern that you can download.
Okay.
But check this out. So we made it like a tiny, tiny little model here. You can see we just used some scrap wood, or not wood.
Foam core.
Foam core, yes.
Yeah.
If it was all like this, it'd be great because it's nice and light. But you can see how it works together like a puzzle piece. So if this were large, and you will see, because I started this morning, but you will see that I cut this out of wood. But we're just making a little model.
It's such a great idea to start with a template. If you're doing something like this for the first time, start with a template like that.
Yes, because it's round all the way around. It's flat on the back. You can kind of see there. But in the front, it's all kind of honeycomb-esque or a flying saucer. So it has that really odd shape that if you can take away the math out of it, then it becomes really easy because you're just putting together a puzzle piece.
Well, I know you took a saw to it and math and a variety of other things.
Yes, that was fun, yes. So I started with 3/4 inch plywood and found how big I wanted the sides. I wanted the sides to be about 38 inches long. And then you go for the depth. So I'm going 12 inches in on that. For the bigger one, I went 15 inches. And then you kind of create an arc. And you can use a protractor if you want, or you can freehand and kind of shade it in. And then halfway through, I'm making little notches that you saw here in my little model. I'm making it as big to fit another piece of 3/4 inch plywood.
Are you going halfway, half the distance of
It was 6 inches up. So yes, it was half of the first one, but they're all that. Oh, and these were 3 inches.
Okay.
Yep, and because I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other side so that they fit together. So once you have that drawn out, then you take your jigsaw and cut both of them out. And it doesn't matter if you don't get this perfect because you end up with your sander, you can kind of manipulate it there. Now these are the notches. Once it's drawn for you, you take your jigsaw and you can get in there and really make a nice clean cut. And of course, because we're using plywood, it does get a little splintery. So you want to make sure that you take a sander and go over it. Now I'm using that because I tried getting the glue into these things and it's hard. So I made myself almost like a little brush to put it in.
Sure.
Then they fit together just like I said, like a puzzle piece. Use a rubber mallet if you can't get it in all the way, just to kind of, get it in that next step. Now, if you had time, you could leave this, but you can see I'm using a nail gun. I only used 4 nails in the entire thing. If you could let it set up for 24 to 48 hours, the glue is going to do the best
It would be better, yeah. I've always said that. I love this. Is this that paper doll technology that Ken talks a little bit about, where you interlock things together?
Kind
so
of
it's
the
a little
3D.
bit. So, all right, so now that you're set, could you do this with, I love MDF, working with MDF.
MDF is like butter, isn't it?
So
if you take a jigsaw.
and you don't have to worry about sanding as much.
Exactly. It would be easier to cut, but I think harder in a room, because what I loved about this is that it was real wood, so we could take a stain to it. I used red mahogany, and of course MDF is medium density fiberboard for whoever wonders. It's so wonderful, but it's only good if you paint it.
Maybe for a kid's room, if you want a bright color or something like that, then
that'd be really fun for a
Okay.
kid's room too, because you can even go very low because this doesn't impede with our baseboard there. You could even go low for a kid's room.
Beautiful.
Yes,
Okay.
or for the cats, I don't know.
Now, because it's ply, because it's fairly thick ply, and there's quite a bit of it, there's got to be a weight to this.
It's heavy.
It's heavy?
It's heavy, yep.
So what do you recommend?
It's pretty
How
heavy.
do we...
So I just took a regular L bracket, and it's called L because, oh, look at that. It looks like an L. Yeah, they were really...
Well, that's backwards L. Flip it the other way.
Backwards L?
There you go. Yeah, whatever.
See, I wouldn't be good at that game that we play.
I don't know.
When you feel the letters. Okay, this is an L bracket, and I'm going to show you what I did here. So I went underneath, and I found the stud, and you can't kid around about these studs. You have to find a stud to hang this. So you can see I found a stud there, attached the top to the bookcase, the bottom to the wall, and Then, to make it disappear, I just painted it the same
painted
color.
it as the colors of the wall.
Yep, I didn't paint the top. So the top, but you're not really, unless you're going to get down there, you're not really going to see it.
Somebody's going to be tempted to look at those wall anchors that say support up to 100 pounds.
Don't believe them. No,
Okay.
I would say don't even mess with it. Only use a stud
Yeah.
because this is pretty heavy, and especially we're about to make it heavier.
Yeah. All right, so let's
here,
load
I'll
up.
take this.
Let's take those, load those things up.
Because once you add books to something, you're looking at a lot heavier.
Well, when you put this
when you
much,
break things too,
when you
could
break
be
it,
11
well,
hold
we're going to
that?
lighten it up then apparently.
Yes.
Okay, here's some books.
Thank you.
I don't know if you want all of these, but these are, yeah, this is heavy.
Oh, actually, yeah, I'll take these first.
This is the big one. Do you want
You can put that there.
over here?
Yep.
That is heavy. Wow.
Yep. But that's
Yeah,
the great thing about this is that you
Sure.
can keep putting things on it and you don't have to worry about the weight.
There's some there.
It is weird when you have so many faux books and then you actually pick up a real book, how heavy it is.
I like
we
this,
go.
but you just
Thank
use two L brackets. This is a pretty good size L bracket too.
Yeah, I only
You
use
don't want to
two.
do a little one. You want to do something that's got some.
Yeah.
Probably a 2-inch by
That
2-inch.
yeah, it and when you only have that, you want to make sure that you're using nice big long screws that really drive into that stud.
Wonderful. I really like this page. I like the dimension to it. It takes a normal, square room, adds some sort of little
It's very fun.
geometry to it.
Yes, geometry without the geometry because we have a downloadable file for the folks at home.
So you can do that.
You can take the guesswork out.
I may have to keep that.
I
I'll
think
put it
it's
up
really
in my trailer.
cute. Yeah,
Fantastic.
You can keep tiny little knickknacks in there.
You have to figure out now. We'll fix that later.
Okay.
Maybe Ken can get his glue gun.